Hello, everybody, and this is the first video of this channel. And what I want to do in this channel is I want to talk especially about mental health and neurodivergency. So, keeping the topic of neurodivergency in mind, I just want to introduce to the topic of neurodivergency. So, what exactly is neurodivergency? What is the significance of it? And why it is so important for us to know about it, to be aware about stuff like this, especially in developing countries like India. Have you ever felt in your life where you have such experiences in your life that causes you to believe that we're just different than other people? And yeah, you might feel disconnected and you might have not been able to connect with most of your counterpart people. So basically, if you have felt that for a very much longer period of your lifetime, and the intensity of the feeling at the frequency of it is unusually higher than typical mental issues. Yeah, it is very probable that you are actually a neurodivergent individual. So basically in this channel, this is my first video and I want to cover the topic neurodivergency because I think in a place, especially like India, there is extremely less awareness about this thing. People do not talk about it. People do not have the proper awareness that should be, and it is often misunderstood. Well, and it is a very probable thing to happen. It is understandable because the world works with the majority of people. And in this case, the majority is not 60%, 40%. Well, it's almost like 95% because if you really want to draw a line, although you can never draw the line between divergent people and neurodivergent people and neurotypical people, but if you have to draw a line in between the gradient part, then you will find to about 5 to 7% of the population, adult population, child populations, suffers in their day-to-day lives by some form of neurodivergency. Well, there are a lot of people who actually go through certain mental issues, let it be anxiety issues, let it be attention issues, and from time to time. And in certain cases, most of these issues can be considered normal. But in certain cases, when the frequency and the intensity of these symptoms are unusually higher than a normal situation, then you got to draw a line. That means that you're neurodivergent. But what is neurodivergency? Basically, when you were born with a brain which was much different, a little bit different, and it works so bit different. It doesn't mean that you have structural differences in the brain, but you have most probably some issues with connections with different types of the brain. The brain is all connected, and it is connected by electrical signals. One neuron connects with another neuron through a synapse. But in certain cases, what happens is due to the lack of certain neurotransmitters, what happens in certain scenarios is that all the connections of the brain doesn't work. So you expect your body, you expect your mind to work a certain way, but it doesn't work that way. Now, to some degree, because nobody's brain is completely ideal, and nobody's brain works 100% perfectly, there are always imperfections. But in certain cases, you have to draw the line, and it becomes difficult in your day-to-day base life to live like this. In a place like India, most of the people, 90 to 95% of the people are normal. And this 5% to 7% of the people, what happens, they struggle through lives. And as they struggle through life, and today's scenario, what happens is there is social media, there is Google, there is ChatGPT, there are certain AI tools, there is the internet, the web available where you can go. We can learn about certain things, right? But if you go back in time, even one generation ago, there was an internet and there was no knowledge available of neurodivergency. This is a very new thing, and there is less of awareness spread in the society. So if you live in a community among people who are neurotypical, you are going to face constant struggle, regardless of how hard you try, regardless of what you do. There are certain different kinds of protocols that you have to follow. You have to form your life in a very different way from what these neurotypical people do. You have to form your own set of goals and you have to live your life by that. So this is just the beginning. This channel is going to cover vast range and all kinds of neurodivergency issues. Just a regular person, just like you, and I have been a victim. My brain is also neurodivergent, and I have had experiences in my past and I relate to it. And by this experience, I can tell you that I am neurodivergent. And I have faced a lot of problems in my life. I want to spread a bit of awareness. And even if it changes a little bit of this world, the way the world thinks about neurodivergent people, I think that's my goal. And it will be achieved. So this is just the beginning. And regardless of anything, I think it will cause me to understand better about this subject, and it will cause the growth, at least in myself. So I will keep this video short, and there will to be another video tomorrow. I'm going to be consistent every single day. I'm going to upload. So yeah. And I'm here on this channel not to follow perfectionism. I could take time. I could take a long time and make this video perfect, but I didn't choose that. I tried to be consistent. Just open the camera, speak. When you do it daily, again and again and again and again and again, you come to a point where even when you're not feeling like doing the job and you still have to make the video, you will create the video in a certain way that for me meet the standards. And I think I will keep the video updated. So yeah, thank you. Take care and stay resistant. Keep up more, because without that, you're not going anywhere. So thank you.